Hello and welcome back to the Auto Loons, and we are back with some more Gran Turismo Sport concept slash Gr.X cars in game. And today's car is one of the latest additions to the game. It's the IsoRivolta Zagato Vision Gran Turismo. There's a lot of Italian and I cannot pronounce it properly, but let's just take a look at it now. So here it is, the IsoRivolta Zagato Vision Gran Turismo by Zagato. Now this was one of the Gr.X cars that was added in the November updates, and it's one of the most recent additions to the Gr.X category. Now, if you're not familiar with either of those names, IsoRivolta or Zagato, I'd understand, because these are names that are of historic significance in the coach building world, i.e. the guys who make these sculpted, custom designed, specified by high-end customers, these very, very beautiful looking cars, and also are responsible for converting road cars into specifically built sports cars. Now this particular example is built completely in the virtual world for Gran Turismo Sport, so there will not be a real functional version of this, but it's good to see these two design houses get together after a long time to build another work of beauty. Now let's look at the first name in this partnership, IsoRivolta, a brand that is better remembered for their work in the 60s and the 70s, where they had the task of bringing together Italian design and American horsepower. And the sport cars they built have racing pedigree, and they competed in various endurance events like the 24-hour Nürburgring, the 24-hour Le Mans and 1,000-kilometer Nürburgring races. The second partner, Zagato, I am more familiar with because of the work they have done with Aston Martin and some of the models they have put out in partnership with that British manufacturer, and they are gorgeous. They most recently showcased a shooting brake concept and a roadster concept, I think. Pardon me if I'm wrong, of their Zagato Aston Martin models, and they are beautiful. Now, a couple of things about this particular car that are odd or interesting, or more interesting. A couple of things about this car are a little confusing for me in terms of getting information. This car was also showcased at the Tokyo Motor Show because, Gran Turismo and Polyphony and Sony all are Japanese based, with Japanese origins. So obviously they would have something as gorgeous as this at the Tokyo Motor Show in 2017. And I read a story about this car on Top Gear UK, which mentioned that this thing would have a 6.2 liter twin turbo engine, which would be capable of almost 1,000 brake horsepower. But in game, and this is only an in-game car because it's virtually built, the specifications are quite different. 4.5 liter engine, turbocharged, I think twin turbo. I'll just check on. It's not specified, but I think it would be twin turbo because the power output is about 559 brake horsepower and around 580 newton meters of torque, which is still significant considering this whole thing only has a curb weight of around 1100 kilos. Now, since this thing is completely virtually built, we do not have any specifications on the exact dimensions, and there is no option of upping the power in game either. We're going to take it on the track and see what it's like to drive. So let's get to the Autodrome Mejoir. I can never pronounce it. Can somebody please tell me in the comments how to pronounce it properly? But yeah, we're going to take this gorgeous Italian coach-built supercar, Gr.X concept car, onto a virtual Italian racetrack. Let's get to it. Alright, and here we are at the track, a track we are very familiar with at this point. But what we're going to do now is take this Italian supercar. Agreed, it's a complete work of fiction, but it is Italian and it looks gorgeous. And it's an Italian racetrack, so let's go see what it's like to drive. Now, mind you, we are driving in manual transmission, something we don't often do in this series, but let's see what it sounds like when we really push it up to the rev limiter. Now, mind you, one of the problems here is that since it's completely virtual, we do not have a cockpit view. Well, that's all we get. But still, just look at that rare, massive central mounted rear exhaust unit. That amazing noise. First thing I would say that even despite its size, it is quite easy to throw around corners, and it handles itself really well, especially in those first couple of tight corners. And the acceleration is also pretty brisk. This thing reminds me a little bit of the Fittipaldi in terms of how easy it is to kind of push this car to its limits. Just this one lap, I already feel more confident in terms of braking late, turning in harder, carrying more entry and exit speeds. I'm also a big fan of that single LED across the back for the brake lights. Very cool. Transmission, again, it's not specified, but given the details available in game, I think it's a 7-speed gearbox. 3, 2, 1, go. Because this thing has some decent pace, and the fact that it's only 1,050 kilograms with about 560 horsepower means it has plenty of go in the early gears. And its wide body stance really helps you keep it planted as you go through these fast corners. So yeah, this is the IsoRivolta Zagato VGT, and now it's time for a cinematic lap of this Italian circuit. And yeah, there we have it. There's another Gr.X car done, and another one will be out very soon, so stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content apart from Gran Turismo, and also visit the website autoloons.com, link in the description for more automotive content. Cheers!